result in a delay because you are unable to then send your collation form and your summary sheet. So this is what had led to some of the delays. But as I mentioned, we hope that during the course of today we should be able to get the two regions. I think you also mentioned the information that we put out that is of candidates who have won. Usually the parliamentary is declared at the constituency level. I think this is the first time that we see that once it's declared, there's no issue and it's all dealt with down there. But it's something that we are working on. And I believe that apart from, we thought that immediately let's get the snapshots of those who are known in each constituency. But in addition to that, we have the candidates per each constituency showing the percentage and the total number of votes they garnered, in that constituency, and that is also coming up. I believe that, by the close of day tomorrow, we should have a clear picture of all the parliamentary seats, the number of persons.
There are two regions with two constituencies that you're saying have issues.
We haven't received the regional reports. If it does happen that you have all, let's say, 15 regions, and then you have the 16th region with the constituency having an issue, it's a different thing. But at the moment, we haven't received results from two regions. We are expecting to receive that later on today.
Yeah, even though from what you're telling us, these regions have received virtually all the constituencies except maybe one or two. That's the point I'm making. That so if we're using the previous model, we probably would have been able to. We probably would have 273 constituencies to declare the result.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to thank you for a successful press briefing. Father, I want to thank you for the gift of life. Father, I want to thank you for a successful and peaceful election. We pray that you guide and protect us always. These and other blessings we ask in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. We pray with thanksgiving. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. God bless.
The country's democracy and to also ensure transparency, fairness and integrity in our work. We commit the presentation into your hands. It's our prayer that at the end of the day, the presentation will make the necessary impact so that the good people of this country will further understand the democratic and the electoral process. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Dr. for that prayer. We are privileged to have with us the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. GMABC, flanked by the deputies, Dr. Bosman Eric Asari, Deputy Chairman, Corporate Services, and to the right, Mrs. Hamotiti, Deputy Chairman, Operations. Madam Chair, we'll go straight to the presentation. Respectfully, thank you very much. Can anybody hear me? No. Relax. Can you hear me now? No.
Photo.
I think the mic is on.
It's fine. Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming to the commission at short notice. We thought that it would be important to meet with you, to brief you on some issues that have arisen during the course of this evening. And I'm referring particularly to the Commission's inability to declare the results as planned at 5 p.m. today. I think the Commission had intended and had indicated its intention and willingness to declare the 2020 presidential election at 5 p.m. today. That is within 24 hours after the general election. However, we experienced quite a number of challenges, making it difficult for us to fulfill this promise. And what had happened was the unexpected rain that occurred in many parts of the country yesterday resulted in a number of voting interrupted. And the result was was that long after voting, some centers had to continue their voting, and this led to some delays with voting and the subsequent collation of results. Naturally, this had an impact on our plans in the sense that our officers could not collate the results and forward them to the appropriate locations as planned. Secondly, we also experienced some challenges with the rain, and particularly some of our areas in the hinterlands, and western north to be precise. It was difficult for our officers to travel to the regional capital and to send the results there. So this led to some substantial delays, resulting in our receiving the results late. And this explains why the Commission was not able to release and declare the results as promised at 5 p.m. today. It's important to emphasize that the process is ongoing. As we speak, the Commission has received 14 out of the 16 regional results. We have the National Collation Center, where we've had representatives of the political parties since yesterday. We have 2 reps for each party, and they are working with our own staff. As the results come in, the party representatives review them against what they themselves have received from the regions. And once they are satisfied that the results that have come to us from the regions is a true reflection of what they have received, they then append their signatures to it before the results are brought to my attention. As returning officer of the 2020 presidential elections, I then certified these results. Out of the 14 results received, we have certified 7 to date. Till this point, we believe that by the end of the evening, we would have certified the remaining 7. We're expecting to receive the 2 in the early hours of this morning, that making up the 16, and then it will put us in a good place to declare the results. We've also put the 7 results that we've certified, received, approved, and certified on the various social media platforms and the website of the Commission. So we are treating the citizenry to visit our websites and our social media platforms to review the results of the 7 regions that have so far been certified. It is important to note, and there may have been speculations of some attempts to manipulate the results. This is false. I think the process that we have is a very transparent and participatory process. And I think any interested Ghanaian here that at the polling station we have the political party agents with our officials at the polling station. At the end of the election, at the polling station level, parties then count the results, they collate them, and they document them on the face of the pink sheets, the statement of poll, and the agents of the parties then sign on to this. From the polling station level, the results are sent to the constituency collation centers, again in the presence of the political party agents. And at the constituency collation centers, all the results of various polling stations are collated and put on the face of the pink sheet and signed on to by all the agents of the political parties. This is a very transparent and participatory process and involves both the Electoral Commission's officials and the political parties. This year we have introduced a new level of transparency and inclusiveness. And what we have done is to introduce a regional collation center. So unlike the previous elections where constituency collation results were sent straight to the National Collation Center here at the office. So what happens is that every region collates all the constituencies in that particular region. And therefore, if a region has 20 constituencies, you find on the regional collation sheet the summary, the details of 20 constituency results. Additionally, we also have the regional summary sheet, and you find a summary of 20 constituency results. And this also involves the political parties in the sense that they approve this, they verify the information that is transported onto the collation sheets at the regional level, and they append their signature to it. So this is the level of participation of the political parties, making it impossible for anybody to rig an election. And therefore, if there may have been speculations out there in the public space in the last few hours, we entreat the public to ignore it, because the political parties append their signatures to these collation sheets, regional collation sheets, starting from the polling station to the constituency and then to the region before it is sent to the National Collation Center. At the National Collation Center, I believe some of you may have witnessed what happens there. We find you have the representatives of the political parties who, when the results come in from the regions, they review it and verify it against what they themselves have received from their own agents. And once they are happy with it, they append their signatures to it before it is brought to the office of the chairperson for certification. It is only after that the results are projected on our website or shared with the general public. So this is the level of participation that we see. It is important to emphasize that this year the results are still coming in the good old fax way and by email. And so what we are getting is not just numbers coming through some transmission, but there are photographs and images of the pink sheets and the collation sheets. And so at the National Collation Center, the results that are coming in are the regional collation sheet and the regional summary sheet. All of them are signed by the agents of the political parties. And this is the political parties before certification by the chair. So we thought that it's important to express our regrets for our inability to organize the declaration at 5 p.m. as planned. This is what had happened. The unexpected rains and some of the challenges that we experienced as a result of the rain. And indeed, some challenges that had occurred at the collation center made it difficult for us to declare the results as expected. We are hoping that we are hoping that in the early hours of this morning we'll receive 2 additional results, and we'll thereafter be able to make the declaration to sometime tomorrow. It's also important, in the past, the issue of parliamentary results was something that was declared at the constituency level. We've noticed that there's been some confusion about the number of seats in parliament, and we assure you that tomorrow we'll make this information available to you as to the number of seats in parliament, which party has which number of seats, how many independent candidates we have in parliament, to put the issue of the number of seats parties have in parliament to rest. We are collating this. Currently, the information is going out on our website, but this is some information that we'll share with you tomorrow so that we can put that matter to rest. We entreat you to ignore some of the speculations and allegations that have gone out. We can actually give you copies of the sheets as they come in from the Regional Collation Center. They are not numbers that come through a channel, as I mentioned, or through some transmission lines. They are just images and photographs of the signed collation sheets that come from the regions, and these are approved and signed by the political parties. So we thought that we should put this matter to rest and to allay the fears of the public of anything untoward happening. We have received 14 results from the regions. They are all at the National Collation Center. The Commission cannot certify these results, and it's important to note that the Commission cannot certify these results without, and of course the parties approve it, they take it to have parties looking at it and approving it and comparing it to the information that they already have from their agents at that level. And it is after the Commission for certification and made public. So this is the process, and we thought that it would be important to highlight some of these processes to allay the fears of Ghanaians that anything untoward is happening. We entreat you, you are our media partners. Many of you have walked this journey with us and you know this process very well. So we also entreat you that together with the Commission, let us educate the citizenry and share this information to those who may not be aware of it. Because I think the peace of this country should be paramount. And the truth is what should stand at the end of the day. And so we entreat you as partners who have walked this journey with us to highlight some of these issues and to inform the political parties about it. And maybe as a way of enabling you to see what happens, it may be important to share the pink sheets and put them on the website as they appear. What we've done now is to, try to take out the information and put it in templates. But I think this evening, the 7 sheets, the 7 results that have been declared, we will take those pink sheets, collation sheets, and also put them on the website so that it also provides you with some information as to how these things are come about. So we'd like to thank you very much for coming at short notice, and we look forward to engaging with you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Very well said. Thank you very much for the presentation. Yeah, the floor is open, but just a few questions. So, it's past 12.
So I want to ask.
Okay.
Which time exactly the declaration will be?
Exactly.
Yes.
I think he's asked his question. You can get to the next one. So, next one.
Actually, it's linked, but you were saying tomorrow, and when I check my time, we are already in the tomorrow. So, Madam Chair, for clarity, which tomorrow are you referring to? A Wednesday?
Tomorrow.
Or a Thursday?
Tomorrow.
Because today it's past 12.
Okay, that's good to know. So I think Wednesday.
Okay.
We are not able to give the exact time. I think that because you are on our platform, once the information goes out, we would share it with you, provide you with enough time to adequately participate.
I think your intervention has been quite possible. So keep it up. And is there anything else we can get in terms of just the things you put on the platform with what you just told us in highlight forms so that we can also share on other platforms as well? Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, you did mention that so far 14 have been received, remaining 2. Are you able to clarify where these regions, or which regions are these, and why the results are not yet in? And then secondly, initially in the course of the day, we saw that there were social media updates, but a lot of Ghanaians are asking questions. The results that are being published are just that of people or parliamentary candidates who have won. Why is that the case? Shouldn't all the data be represented for Ghanaians to appreciate how each candidate is performing? Why just the people winning constituencies being put out on social media?
Thank you very much. I think at the moment we have 14, but we have 2 regions, Bono East and the Northern region, whose results we are yet to receive. And I think that we've had some challenges, as you know, in Bono East, in Techiman, and this has left our staff a little apprehensive, and so there's a bit of tension in the environment, and so they are not able to move about freely, and this has resulted in the delays. We are hoping that they assured us that things have normalized, and we believe that we feel confident enough to move around, so we expect that we should get the results later on today. Additionally, in the Northern region, we had an instance where there was some challenge to some polling station where I think there had been one person, an overvote by 1. And I think that one of the parties had requested, because there was an overvote by 1, the whole election should be annulled. And that resulted in some discussions the whole day, so it also led to the delay. But I believe those issues have been resolved, and we hope that, as we have mentioned, later on today we should be able to have the full complement of the results. It's important that I think we try to inform the public about the process, that unlike the constituency results, which would come in at random. So if one can come in from Central, one can come in from Volta, one can come in from UT. In this case, you have to have the results in its totality. And therefore, if you had 40 constituencies or 45 constituencies and one was delayed, you couldn't send us the regional collation sheets, because you're not sending us constituency results anymore. You're sending us regional the collation on the sheet. And once you have 45 and you have only one delay, it holds you back. Whilst this is a more simplified process, because the commission is dealing with only 16 results that have gone through 3 processes: polling station, constituency, and regional. You may have the challenge of one constituency or one polling station in the constituency holding you back, and it may result in a delay because you are unable to then send your collation form and your summary sheet. So this is what has led to some of the delays. But as I mentioned, we hope that during the course of today we should be able to get the two regions. I think we also mentioned the information that we put out, that it's been of candidates who have won. Usually see that once it's declared, there's no issue and it's all dealt with down there. But it's something that we are working on. And I believe that because that immediately, let's get the snapshots of those who have won in each constituency. But in addition to that, we have the candidates per each constituency, showing the percentage and the total number of votes they garnered, in that constituency. And that is also coming up. I believe that, by the close of day tomorrow, we should have a clear picture of all the parliamentary seats, the number of persons who contested, the results, the results they garnered, and the percentage, and so on. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Israel, I will join you. So in the past, or in previous elections, the Electoral Commission has been able to project or determine or declare the results without necessarily having the full complement of the result from all the constituencies. From what you're telling us, it appears you have just about 2 constituencies outstanding. Why don't we go ahead, or can't you determine or declare the results without waiting for these 2 constituencies from the way you're voting?
There are 2 regions.
Okay, 2 regions. But 2 regions with 2 constituencies that you're saying have issues.
We haven't received the regional reports. If it does happen that you have all, let's say, 15 regions, and then you have the 16th region with the constituency having an issue, it's a different thing. But at the moment, we haven't received results from 2 regions that will be later on today.
Yeah, even though, from what you're telling us, these regions have received virtually all the constituencies except maybe 1 or 2. That's the point I'm making, that so if we're using the previous model, we probably would have been able to, you probably would have 273 constituencies to declare the results. That's what I'm saying. Do you really want to stick to the original plan of having the full complement of the region where you have 273 and you can declare?
I think for that question, the Commission has made it very clear that we will declare the results this morning. We will do our very best before they close. So this is today, so we'll do it. The 2 regions have, one has 18 constituencies and the other one has 11 constituencies mentioned to declare. And let's say the one with 18 constituencies, 17 of them are ready, 16 of them are ready, and the other one with about 11, 10, or let's say 9 are ready. And we do the analysis and we realize that the remaining constituencies will not affect